welcome to Rise Up Tarot. My name is Kate. Today we are doing something new and different. We always like to shake things up here at Rise Up Tarot. Today is going to be a pick a card reading or pick a stone / group reading. And feel free to pick more than one if you're drawn to more than one. Our readings today are the red jasper crystal with the Crystal Visions Tarot. We've got the blue Chalcedony crystal with the Field Tarot, or the Labradorite crystal with the Sun and Moon Tarot. So, like I said, pick whichever reading you're drawn to, and feel free to watch 2 or even all 3 if you're called to do so. And I will see you in your reading. If you have chosen the red jasper, then this is your reading. The red jasper is a stone that can support grounding, balance, and stability, and it can enhance creativity, especially with regard to kind of facing challenges and coming up with creative solutions. All right, we are going to put the red jasper right over here. And your reading is going to be with the Crystal Vision Tarot. We're going to start with a set of oracle cards that I pulled ahead of time. And then we are going to finish the reading with another set of oracle cards that I pulled. All right, let's see what we've got for you, Red Jasper Group. Starting off, we have the mask. All right. Next, we've got the 7th house relationship. And the 7th house is really about those one-on-one relationships. So not necessarily group relationships, and they don't necessarily have to be romantic. Next, we've got Witch. Be the light. She's got her, is that a great horned owl with her? Oh, and I'm just noticing there's also a moth in her hair. Okay, so wisdom, transformation. And our animal spirit card is the fish. Our herbal astrology card is the mandrake. That says sensuality. Number 45. And that's Neptune and Venus. And last, we've got duality. Interesting. Number 26. Okay, so what masks might you be wearing? What roles might you be playing in relationships? And are you being the light or not? Right? And interesting that we've got sensuality with relationships, but then we've also got duality with the mask. And then we've also got the fish, kind of in contrast with the red jasper. Like I said, the red jasper supports grounding and kind of stability. And the fish is really not grounded. The fish is like going with the flow. And they can be very adaptable, But there's a certain point in time when you've got to kind of stand still, right? You can't just keep moving. They're all about movement, constant movement, flow, going with the current, right? But sometimes it's important to stop. And, given that the red jasper is here, I think you're being encouraged to maybe stop and do some grounding and maybe reflect on the masks that you're playing and to what extent in your relationships you are being the light or being the dark, or kind of what the nature of the role is that you are playing, and how that's serving you or not serving you. And then, how is sensuality coming into play? Very interesting. All right, I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross. So let's see, what is the basic situation here for our red Jasper group? Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords speaks to kind of heartbreak, past wounding, heartbreaks, but it also speaks to healing. I mean, I always say that these cards that are kind of more challenging in nature really come up when we are ready to deal with them. So I feel like the Three of Swords speaks to healing more than it does to the wounds themselves. I mean, there is, it doesn't negate the existence of the wounds, but you're ready to heal these wounds, these heartaches, these heartbreaks, these past betrayals, these old wounds, whatever they are to you. What is influencing the situation for our red Jasper group? Page of Cups. Beautiful. So self-love, right? And the need for self-love, the need to be in our heart space, the need to believe in ourselves. And all the pages are taking steps in a new direction. And so to me, this influence here is influencing you to take steps in a new direction of self-love, self-care, honoring your heart and believing in yourself as a means for helping you heal whatever these wounds are. What is the conscious focus of the red Jasper group? Nope, too many. The Knight of Swords. Wanting quick action, right? Maybe quick results, right? Maybe you're just like, all right, let's get this healing business over with. Unfortunately, it doesn't tend to work that way. Let's see what your subconscious mind is all about and see what's going on beneath the surface here. What's your subconscious focus? Ten of Wands. Ending a burden. And actually, this is a great rendition of the Ten of Wands because he's got support. I mean, the horse looks rather unhappy and quite burdened. But the 10 means that this is the end of feeling burdened, feeling oppressed, feeling overwhelmed, right? And it's time to lay down these burdens. And that could, again, be speaking to this heartache, heartbreak, old wounds, right? Healing these wounds, setting down the burden that these wounds have been kind of inflicting on you, or that you've been feeling with these open wounds. What brought the red Jasper group to this situation? What's in the recent past? Seven of Swords. So potentially some deceptive behavior on somebody else's part, or it could be kind of your own mind, like messing with you and kind of self sabotage, right? Thoughts that contribute to self sabotage, thoughts of futility, really like kind of a cynical outlook on life. And, it could be that you have these old wounds that are based on old programming, right? That is basically at the root of this kind of thinking, right? And you're ready to you're ready to set that down. You're ready to let it go. You're ready to not be burdened by thoughts of futility, right? That actually serve to hurt you and just kind of leave and don't enable you to heal these wounds, right? And instead, right, we really want to be in this Page of Cups space. We want to take off these masks that we've been wearing, right? This need to live our lives in a way that isn't really serving us, especially with regard to how we are in relationship. And healing these old wounds, letting go of these old thought patterns, this old programming, setting these burdens down so that we can really heal and move forward as with a healed heart. But we gotta, we don't want to run away from these. Sometimes being on the move all the time enables us to kind of ignore stuff, but seems to me like you're being encouraged to stand still for a minute and ground yourself and really start looking at what's happening and how you can heal it, and kind of what thoughts are helping you and serving you and what thoughts are not. All right, what is coming in for the Red Jasper Group? What is in the immediate future here? Eight of Pentacles. Well, it's going to take some work, right? Like I said, healing, especially if these are deep wounds, from our childhood, from our past, it's hard to heal them overnight, right? It just doesn't really work that way. So you're going to have to invest some time, energy, effort, maybe resources, right? Maybe but maybe it would be helpful to have it, talk to a therapist or a counselor. But it's going to require some concerted effort. All right, how are you showing up? Nine of Cups. Well, that's very positive, right? You are focused on wish fulfillment. How can I fulfill my wishes? That's absolutely wonderful. That is a great thing to be focused on, right? That is very much in keeping with this Page of Cups, right? What do I want? What's going to make me happy? What does my wish fulfillment look like? If in order to be able to fulfill our wishes, we need to know what that looks like, right? We need to envision it in order to realize it. What's going on in the environment for our Red Jasper Group? Ace of Cups. All right, well, there is love in the environment here. That's fantastic. Yeah. Ace of Cups is a gift of, all the aces are a gift from the universe, and the Ace of Cups is the gift of love. And so you've got love around you. It also, the Ace of Cups to me really speaks of self-love. So you're in an environment where you can really focus on self-love, which is essential for healing and for healthy relationships. And the other thing I'm just noticing this duality card again, which is reminding me that it's really important to recognize that we are recognize and accept the duality of life, right? We are not perfect. We are not all light, right? We really need to become aware and accept the shadow side of ourselves and love all of ourselves, right? In order to be the healthiest version of ourselves. We don't want to, be in denial that we don't have any shadow sides, or, try to get rid of our shadow side. That's just not how life is. We have to accept the duality that is life. All right, what is the advice? Judgment. Rise up, rise to the call. You're being called by your higher self to rise up and make these changes, make these improvements, do this healing, and become a new and improved version of yourself. Become you 2.0, right? Become more of who you are, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing here, right? We're supposed to be learning and becoming more and more, ideally we want to be as true to ourselves and our purpose here as possible. And so the judgment card is speaking to that. You're being called to rise up to become more of who you are, right? To take off the masks and be your authentic self and embrace your authentic self. Okay, we've got some of our outcomes, potential outcomes here, flying out. Let's get one more for the potential outcome for a red Jasper group. All right. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Fool, which is all about taking a leap of faith and starting anew. New beginnings. Okay, so as the outcome, the heart of the outcome is the Lovers. So making a choice that is based on fully accepting and loving ourselves. And the Hanged Man, there's a need for a pause, right? There's a need to stop. There's a need to stop moving. There's a need to kind of remove yourself from all the goings on and quiet your mind, create a space so that you can actually receive the guidance and receive insights that's going to help change your perspective. The Hangman is all about taking a pause, quieting the noise, and gaining insight and a new perspective on things. And the King of Swords also speaks to decisions and making good decisions that really reflect stepping back and seeing the bigger picture, right? So when you pause, take that time out so that you can really create a quiet space in order to really receive new insights and new perspective. It's going to help you see the bigger picture and make choices that are very well informed, that really take into consideration the bigger picture, and that ultimately will reflect full acceptance and love for yourself and be like loving choices for yourself. Beautiful. All right, let's see what we've got as our final oracle messages here. We've got the medallion. Interesting. All right, so are there any things in the material realm that you're feeling particularly attached to? Any objects or is there anything that is kind of that is kind of contributing to some sense of attachment? Deep diver, diving into a task. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, this work requires a deep dive, right? It requires letting go of attachments, right? Letting go of attachments that really aren't serving us and taking a deep dive to, to be able to really look at yourself and do the healing required. We've also got you're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. Well, that's nice. That's promising, isn't it? It's not going to be fast, but you're not that far away. So that's reassuring, right? And this fact that the Fool is here also speaks to that, right? Because this is all about a new beginning. So it's just about rising up to the call here and really doing, taking a pause, grounding yourself, creating some balance and stability, diving deep and doing this work to really heal yourself and let go of the past. Next, we've got, I can't read that, Earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. All right. Yeah, not getting caught up in any, like this card can speak to kind of making the choice not to get involved in like gossip or kind of lower vibe behavior, right? So we all have to be in the world, but we don't have to fall prey to kind of the negativity and the kind of get pulled into behavior that's not really serving us. Finally, we've got Whale Spirit. Beautiful, one of my favorites. Trust the great mystery. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, Red Jasper Group, that is what I've got for you today. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. Hit that notification bell so you know when the next reading is coming out. Leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonated for you, what you think of the new format, if you like the pick of cards. And take good care, and I will see you next time. Bye. If you've chosen the blue Chalcedony crystal, this reading is for you. Blue Chalcedony supports healing. It helps balance mind, body, and spirit. It also helps remove negative energy and let positive energy flow. I'm going to put our crystal right here. And for your reading, I am using the Field Tarot. And we're going to start with our first set of oracle cards. And then we're going to finish things out with our last set of oracle cards. I pulled all of those ahead of time. So let's get started. Let's see what we've got for you, Blue Chalcedony Group. To start here, we have the Sword, which reminds me of Mars. Number 62. It's interesting too, because we've got that moon above, and then we've got like two suns. A sun in a darker space and a sun in a brighter space. And then we've got kind of that lightning bolt crossing the sword. And the sword can, in addition to it being like a weapon, it also means like wisdom and clarity and truth. And kind of interesting that there's a lightning bolt, kind of being hit with the truth. Right? Oh, and I'm just noticing that the moon is dark. Yeah, and on one side it looks almost like an eclipse, right? It's got that darkness around the sun, and then the other one is just the sun. So, very interesting. Let's see what else we've got here. Also got square, semi-square quincux, and that says tension. Interesting because Mars is in retrograde right now. And we also have a square between Jupiter and Saturn. And, you know, a square is tension. I think Jupiter and Saturn, and I think we also have a square between Mercury and Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. And Mercury is retrograde right now. All right, let's keep going. Next, we've got Direction Guardian. Choose your path. We've got, that kind of reminds me of the World and the Wheel of Fortune. More the Wheel of Fortune, I think, given that it's Direction Guardian. Choose your path, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune is about change and kind of, all right, where are you going next? And it has the different animals representing the similar animals. It's got the bull, it's got the lion, it's got, I mean, it looks like a dove, not an eagle though. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, getting really intrigued by the imagery on the cards. All right, next we've got Nightingale. All right, well, the nightingale sings a beautiful song. But there's something sad about a nightingale. Next, we've got Amanita, number 42, and I think it's Conduit. Yeah, Conduit. And that has Neptune, Pluto, and Mercury. Oh, interesting. Okay. We were just talking about Mercury. And like I said, Mercury's in retrograde. Okay, and finally, we've got Perception. Okay, interesting. All right. So you've got the sword here, and like, where is it gonna point you, right? What is the truth to you? What is what kind of clarity are you experiencing, and where is it guiding you, right? Where are you pointing your sword? Where is it taking you? Now that I'm looking at this here, it looks like a fried egg. Yeah, and is it taking you to the dark side or the light side of things, right? Like, what is the truth and where is it taking you, right? How are you perceiving things right now? And how are you navigating the tension, right? Are you a conduit for tension or are you a conduit for peace? And what kind of song are you singing? I wish we had more time because I feel like reading some of these. But let's start pulling some tarot, see what the message is, and see if that sheds any more light on what we've got here. If there's time, I can read some of these. All right, at the heart of your reading, the basic situation here for our Blue Chalcedony group is the Ten of Wands, which is burden. This actually doesn't look very burdensome, does it? The beauty of the tens is that they are the end. There's that Mercury retrograde. They are the end, right? So the burden is over, right? You've wrapped up this burden with a ribbon and you're like, all right, we're done here. I'm done feeling burdened. I'm putting these wands down. I'm wrapping them up with a bow so that the burden actually transforms into like a gift, right? It's almost like a bouquet. Interesting. All right, what is influencing the situation? What is influencing the situation for our blue Chalcedony group? Nine of Wands, resistance or resilience. That's interesting that I said that. All right. Yeah, I mean, you've been dealing with a lot, right? The Nine of Wands signifies kind of engaging in battle after battle, or at least feeling like that, right? And kind of being battle weary. It's the wounded warrior. But you have maintained resilience throughout this, right? Enough so that by the time you get here to the Ten of Wands, you are recognizing, you're seeing the gifts in the challenges and the battles that you've faced. You're recognizing the gift of the end being here, right? You're reaching the end of this. Very interesting. All right, what is the conscious focus? What is the focus of our blue Chalcedony group here? The Hierophant. Connection to spirit, trusting your inner wisdom, listening to your inner wisdom, tuning in, recognizing your connection to spirit, and that you can tap into the guidance of spirit. What is going on in the subconscious mind of the Blue Chalcedony Collective? What's going on in the subconscious mind? Three of Wands. Vision. Yeah, you are ready. You are ready for your ships to come in, right? You have a vision and you're ready to move towards that vision. You're ready for expansion and you have an idea of what that looks like. And I always look to see how the conscious mind is or isn't working with the subconscious mind, right? Are they working together, or is there some kind of tension between the two? These are beautiful together. You're tapping into your inner wisdom, you're connecting to spirit, you're recognizing that, yes, I can communicate with spirit, I can receive guidance from spirit, and it's helping you with this expansion, with this ability to envision what it is that you want and how it is that you want to expand, so that you can start readying yourself and thinking about how you need to ready yourself for this expansion. Beautiful. All right, what is in the recent past? What brought you all to this current situation? Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Or, I don't know if your wishes were fulfilled, or if you decided to start focusing on how you could fulfill your wishes, right? Perhaps this represents a shift in your focus towards thinking about, what do I want in my life? What does wish fulfillment look like? Or perhaps you got a taste of wish fulfillment that allowed you to recognize the need to end this chapter, put down these burdens, and start focusing on expansion. All right, what is in the immediate future? Five of Pentacles. What does that say? Destitution. Interesting. Don't worry. Some of these words are a little misleading. The Five of Pentacles doesn't mean destitution. I think it can mean fear of destitution. It can be feelings of being on the outside, not belonging. But I think in this case, given everything that I'm seeing here, I feel like it just means that you may be going this alone. This may be something that you're doing on your own, at least right now. So, but that's okay. Sometimes, there's certain parts of our life that there are things we have to do on our own. And I think the key is to embrace and accept and embrace that, right? And not feel like, oh, poor me, or get caught up in any kind of lack or victim mentality, but to embrace what is and the need for doing some things on your own. How are you showing up? How is the blue Chalcedony group showing up with regard to this situation? Oh, nice. Fortune, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you are ready for change. You are embracing change. And you're recognizing that luck is on your side. You're feeling good. You're feeling optimistic. You're ready for this change. You're embracing change. And you're trusting that it's all for the best. Que bueno. All right, what's going on in the environment? Okay, nice, the Star. All right, well, in the environment is ripe for you to have faith in your dreams, right? It's supporting you in having faith in your dreams and trusting that you can cultivate and manifest and create whatever it is you want, that you can realize your dreams. So you're in a very supportive environment. That's great. And again, you may be on your own, right? It may be spirit that is supporting you, right? Don't forget that spirit is there as a support. Always. Spirit has your back, right? So tap into that. I mean, I think you already are. So that can be a huge support and help us remember that we're not alone, right? And tap into the guidance of spirit, who can serve as your, guiding star, your North Star. All right, what is the what is the advice for this situation? Lots of advice trying to pop out. King of Wands, beautiful. Leadership, take the lead. The King of Wands is passionate, powerful, determined to achieve whatever they want. So the advice here is to tap into those qualities. You're being encouraged to take the lead in your life, to tap into that passion and that power and that determination, and know that you can achieve anything that you want. All right, let's look at the final outcome here for our blue Chalcedony group. What's the final outcome? The final countdown. And remember, this is a potential outcome because you, of course, have free will to make any choices you see fit in your life. So nothing is written in stone here. We are not fortune telling here. We are tapping into your own inner guidance here. So you can take it or leave it. All right, we've got Temperance, the need for patience, balance. Again, remembering the spirit has your back. Alchemy, changing things that are negative into positives. Three of Cups, friendship. Sorry, did I not show you that one? Probably not. There you go. Friendship. Soul tribe. Finding those people who have your back, who will support you. All right. There we go. And that is at the heart of your outcome. So that's key. It's kind of finding your soul tribe, finding those people who have your back, who support you, who believe in you. And what does that say? 8 of Discs, dedication. Putting the work in, putting time, energy, resources, effort into achieving what it is that you want. Yeah, you've got this. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the 4 of Swords, and it says rest, which is exactly what I was going to say. So yeah, there's a need for rest. There's a need for balance, right? There's a need to take any breaks that you need, right? To have that balance of activity and rest, right? And that the downtime, taking the downtime that you need, right? We can't just be go, 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 Mars, 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 Mars. And because Mars is in retrograde, you probably are going to not be able to kind of get to the finish line, right? So just keep that in mind, that you might not be able to actually kind of achieve your goal during Mars retrograde. But that doesn't mean you can't be working towards it, okay? And kind of reflecting on what's working. But also, you know, you want to also be getting into kind of receptive mode, surrender mode, right? It's not really, Mars retrograde is not really a time of a lot of like forward movement. All right, let's see what other oracle cards we have here to finish out your reading. We've got the Pilgrim, the Pioneer, right? That's such an interesting card. Number 20. Wow, there is a lot going on in there. Yeah. So you are going into uncharted territory, I think. But that's okay. You got this. Next, we've got Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix. Whoa. Okay, again, like I really see there's lots of evidence here that you are connecting to spirit and tapping into spirit. And kind of figuring out this divine matrix here that we are living in and how to navigate it in the best way possible. Bring love into this situation. New moon in Aquarius. Absolutely. Make sure you are bringing love into this situation always, right? We are here to learn how to love. We are here to move towards love and away from fear. Leave fear behind. So always bring love into the situation, especially self-love, right? Really make sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you are resting, that you are relaxing, taking breaks, and focusing on self-care. Next, we've got All Paths Lead Home. Wow, this is really a very deep spiritual reading, Blue Chalcedony Group. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Yeah, you are being called to go on a spiritual quest here. Whoa! All right, and finally, we've got White Raven Magic. I mean, I always want to say that. White Raven Spirit, same difference. Trust in the magic, number 66, right? And 2 6s, you're on the right path here, which, I mean, it's all over this reading. You are definitely on the right path here. All right, Blue Chalcedony Group, that is what I've got for you today. I hope that was helpful. It was a really interesting reading. And if you found it helpful, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Also, leave me a comment if you're so inclined. Would love to hear from you. Would love to hear what you think about the pick a card format if you like this. And I will see you next time. Take care. If you picked Labradorite, then this is your reading. Labradorite is actually believed to have magical powers that can be used to influence positive change in your life. It also is believed that it may enhance psychic or spiritual abilities. All right, we are going to put our Labradorite right over here. And for this reading, I'm using the Sun and Moon Tarot. And we have some oracle cards that I pulled earlier to start your reading, and then some other oracle cards that I also pulled earlier to finish your reading. All right, let's see what we've got here. To start the reading, we've got the thread. Yeah. The thread is really that connection to your soul and your purpose. Next, we've got the Ascendant, number 35. Oh, and that's number 70. Number 35 is the Ascendant entrance. Yeah, your Ascendant or your rising sign is said to be kind of the front door of your home if your person was a home, right? It's how people encounter you when they first meet you. It's kind of how you show up in the world. Next, we have Druid. Hold the space. So perhaps you are being encouraged here to hold space to really connect who you are here on the earth with your soul and your purpose for being here. Ooh, that's going to be another deep one. Number 2, the blue Chalcedony. Now I'm forgetting how to pronounce it. The second group. That ended up being a very deep reading. Not that the red Jasper wasn't, but anyway, moving on. All right, next we've got the bear. So yeah, the bear speaks to new beginnings, kind of coming, that the time in the bear's life that the card refers to is when they are first coming out of hibernation and kind of starting anew. And then we've got skullcap, stillness. Yeah. Right. You may need to create stillness to hold the space to be able to really connect with your purpose. And gosh, Pluto has been coming out a lot in these readings. This is Pluto and Saturn. Interesting. Sorry, I want to see that a little bit more. All right. And then finally, we've got feminine energy. All right. Well, talk about holding a space. That's what feminine energy definitely is about, holding a space, right? And for receiving and allowing and letting things flow in. Okay. Labradorite Group. Let's get started with our tarot reading here. I am doing a Celtic cross. And so we'll start with the situation for this group. What's the situation? What's the heart of the situation here for our Labradorite group? Four of Wands, completion, celebration. It's interesting because usually the Four of Wands is considered the 1111 portal card, but this rendition, it's a wheel, so it's more like making me think of the Wheel of Fortune, right? So kind of like turning the wheel to kind of create your own fate, like you're turning the wheel, they're turning the wheel. It can also speak to like what it is that you want to commit to. I mean, here it's like what lights your fire. Like I like to think of the Four Wands as like, what is your happily ever after? And what do you want to commit to? Okay. What's influencing the situation? 2020 on the clock. What's influencing the situation? Judgment. The Eon. Yeah. You're being called to rise up. Yeah. And so answering that call and rising up to to the call of your higher self, right? I think you're being really called to like commit to realizing your purpose here, or at least trying to understand what that is and move in that direction. Yeah, that's what you're being called to commit to. All right. What is the focus of the Labradorite? Labradorite group here. Queen of Cups. Tapping into your intuition. Also, there's a stork here, so tapping into your motherly, feminine, nurturing, loving instincts. I mean, you don't have to be a mother to have those kinds of, to kind of be a mother to yourself, be a mother to somebody else. Oh, and I love that there's a reflection in the water of her and the moon. So really seeing yourself as this loving, nurturing, highly intuitive person who honors their feelings and really is compassionate as well. All right, well, that's good. That's going to help, I think. And then what is the subconscious mind? What is the focus of the subconscious mind? This is the focus. The Queen of Cups is the focus of the conscious mind. What is the focus of the subconscious mind? The Tower. Okay, breaking down old structures that have outlived their time, and that can be any kind of structure, right? It can be a mental structure, it can be a philosophical structure, a belief structure, an organizational structure. But given that this is the focus of your subconscious, it seems to me that it probably is in the realm of beliefs or a way of thinking, or perhaps a way of living, right? That maybe is not in alignment with your purpose, right? So I like to see to what extent the conscious mind is working in unison or kind of in cooperation with the subconscious mind, or if they're kind of working against each other. And to me, I think it's interesting because the subconscious mind is like, let's blow that shit up. It ain't working. It's done. It's time to go. whatever that is, right? Whether it's limiting beliefs, old programming, an old way of operating, a career path that's out of alignment with your purpose, just anything that's really out of alignment with who you are and who you're meant to be in this lifetime. And the Queen of Cups, your conscious mind, is focusing on just like loving yourself through the process, loving yourself, nurturing yourself, caring for yourself, and tapping into and trusting your intuition, really using the power of your intuition as guidance. So I'd say those two are working quite nicely together, actually. That's great. All right. What brought our Labradorite group to this situation? What is in the recent past? The Wheel of Fortune, change. Yeah, that makes sense. So some kind of, the wheel turned, change was initiated in the recent past. And it's brought you to this point where you are ready to commit to something new, ready to rise up to the call of your higher self and commit to something new that is in alignment with who you are and who you are meant to be. What's coming in the new? Really struggling to speak during this reading. What is coming in for this group? What is in the immediate future? Oh, there we go. Temperance. All right, that's great. Balance, patience, alchemy, kind of, turning negatives into positives, playing with the energy, trusting that spirit, knowing and trusting that spirit has your back, creating balance, did I already say patience? Great. All right, how are you showing up? How is the Labradorite group showing up with regard to this situation? Eight of Pentacles. You are ready to work. You are totally stepping up to the plate, and you're like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to put the time, the energy, the effort, the resources into whatever this is that you are, this big change that you are going through, this realignment with your thread, your true purpose here. Yeah, and you're willing and able and understanding that it's going to take concerted effort to do so. It's interesting. The words here at the top reflect the Thoth. I think that's how you say it, deck, which is a little different than the Rider-Waite. So that's where the word prudence is coming from. And I'm trying to think, because I used to use that deck a lot, especially that was the only deck I used for many years from when I started reading the tarot till just a few years ago, actually. So how quickly we forget. But I think it's just basically like advising you not to kind of go off the deep end, to really kind of have some prudence, have some, be mindful, be cautious, a little cautious. Don't take on too much. Yeah, that actually is probably good advice there. Don't take on too much. Don't try to do too much at once, right? One step at a time. Yeah, less than caution, I guess. Although I guess it depends on how you look at it. All right, moving on. What is going on in the environment? The Hanged Man. All right, well, perhaps there is kind of a pause happening for you, since it's in this position of the environment. Usually the Hanged Man is encouraging you to pause and kind of close out the world for a minute and take the time and create the space to actually be able to quiet the mind and hear and receive some insights in order to gain a new perspective on things. So perhaps that's actually happening for you, right? You're not creating the pause, but perhaps something in your life is creating this pause for you in the environment. Maybe it's a break, if you're a student, it's a break from school. Maybe it's the holidays, and you have the space during the time off from work. Or I don't know, maybe you got laid off from a job or something to that effect. Even if it is being laid off from a job, I think what this reading is saying is that is actually providing you with the gift of time and space to actually gain some insights and some perspective on how you can move forward in this endeavor. And it's happening for you, even though, those kinds of things don't always feel so good. But sometimes they do. Sometimes it's a blessing and you recognize it as such. Other times it's a blessing in disguise. All right, and what is the advice? The Empress. Yeah, get into that receptive mode. Tap into that feminine energy that enables you to open up and receive and let things flow to you, right? It's not a time to take action. It's not a time to be in that masculine yang energy, especially because it's Mars retrograde. And during Mars retrograde, it might end up being really frustrating if you're trying to make things happen because you might run into barriers. So you're being encouraged in a couple different places here to really tap into that feminine part of yourself and really get comfortable in your own skin and just pause and open yourself up to receiving, right? And let the messages and the guidance and the abundance and the opportunities flow to you. All right, finally, what is the potential outcome for our Labradorite group? We're going to pick 3 cards for the potential outcome. We've got the Fool, taking a leap of faith, new beginnings, kind of like what the bear's speaking to. The Lovers, loving and accepting and loving all of yourself and making choices from the heart and from a place of love for yourself and acceptance for yourself. And 10 of Wands. Yeah, the end of oppression, the end of an oppressive period of time, putting the burdens down. Also recognizing that even though you may have been dealing with some burdensome experiences, you were actually managing it just fine, right? You were able to carry that weight and move forward. I want to say with relative ease. It might not have felt that way, but you sure looked like you were handling it with ease. So the Lovers is the heart of your outcome here. So, and you can see that the Lovers, there's the eagle there representing spirit, the lion representing strength. You've got a symbol there representing healing. You've got children representing kind of like play and fun and nurturing, caring for that inner child, partnership, and love. Whoops. So the outcome here is really focusing, making choices that really center love and acceptance for yourself, right? As the deciding factors. right? Making choices from your heart, and that will enable you to make a new start, right? And notice that this character has their back to the tiger, which is represents fear, right? So they're not paying any attention to any kind of fearful thoughts that might be coming up. There's another nod to healing and transformation. And then you're at the end of this period of time where you've been feeling really burdened and overloaded, right? And it's time to end that period and put that burden down. Lay down your burdens. Wow, amazing. Oh, and then at the bottom of the deck, we've got the sun. Let me show you that again. The video stopped, so I want to make sure you saw it. All right. Beautiful. Let's wrap up our reading with, oh, okay. Our final 4 oracle cards. We've got the gem. Yeah, it's time to really dig in and find that gem within you, right? Which is really like your purpose and your destiny. And as we know, getting to, accessing gems is not it's not easy and it's not quick, right? It requires excavation. And even just like the creation of the gem requires pressure and effort. So do the work, right? You are willing and committed to doing the work to find this gem. Next, we've got empty well. Time to replenish. Yeah, so whatever this is that you're ending, right, that you're blowing up here, it really wasn't feeding you, right? It wasn't feeding you. You were feeling like an empty well, right? You just weren't getting what you needed out of it. And it's time to align with your higher self and really fill up that well. Next, we've got prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Beautiful. Important to keep that in mind, especially if you've been laid off, right? To trust that everything is happening as it should and everything is going to work out, right? Turn your back to those fears. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Yeah, remember that you're never alone, right? Even if you don't have people around you, you've got spirit. But, it can't hurt to find the people who love and support you for, if you need the support of people. And beautiful, our last card is Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. Beautiful. All right, that is what I've got for you, Labradorite Group. I hope that reading was helpful. If it was, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And hit that notification bell. Leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonated for you. And let me know how you like the pick a card format. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time.